Joining me today is Luke Dorman. How are you?
Hello, Sam. How are you?
I'm really, really good. Thank you for taking some time out to spend with me today.
That's no problem.
So let's kind of get it out of the way. How has your year been? Are you all okay?
Yeah, struggled through it, but we're getting somewhere. I've sort of obviously back to normality a little bit now with getting in the swing of things with the music. So it's nice
Yeah.
to be contacted and go, do you want some gigs?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that must be amazing.
It is amazing, isn't it? It's like, wow,
Yeah.
I haven't gigged for so long.
Mm,
So long. I think the last gig I had was the January before the first lockdown.
wow.
So it's well
Yeah.
over a year.
Over a year ago. And for creative types like yourself and obviously all the other musicians, it must have been a really tough year because for you, getting out and gigging is what it's all about. It's that buzz, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You miss that sort of you know, you miss that sort of crowd interaction, didn't you? Really,
Yeah,
and the intimacy of some of the smaller gigs is brilliant. Yeah,
yeah.
I do miss that. A
So
listening audience is what I miss.
yeah, exactly that. Other than playing to yourself. No, even if you did online stuff, you don't know what your audience is like if you are doing it. So it's just not the same, is it?
No, it's not the same. But although when you see the numbers, like who's coming in, you start getting the jitters a little bit, which is good because at least you know you're still human.
Yeah. No, that's true.
you
That's
know.
true. Have you spent the time creatively? Have you been writing and stuff?
Ah, well, now glad you asked. So literally, first lockdown, I was like anyone else, scared like, oh, I don't want to go out. I don't want to catch this
Mm,
thing. Don't even know what it is. It's invisible,
yeah.
you know. And I literally just had this song come to me straight away. And I know it sounds cliche because everybody's had a lockdown song, but I've literally just got the video finished, and I'm going to release my lockdown song at the end of this month on the 30th of March.
Wow.
So I'll send it your way, and you can be the first to hear it.
I would absolutely love that, and I'll play it on my show. But like you've just said, that everyone's going to have a lockdown song. Of course, everyone's going to have a lockdown song. We've all
Yeah,
struggled. We've all had time to think and create. So that's good that we're all going to have a lockdown song. It's a way that we're going to remember this whole year, this crazy year.
yeah, definitely. I was well. My sort of come about with. I was sitting there thinking, God, wouldn't it be great if there was some injection that we could have, and
Mm,
it would just get rid of this virus. There's so many
yeah,
people. I was panicking because, like, my grandparents are getting proper on now, and I was thinking
yeah.
I don't give enough as it is with life getting in the way, and it really made me think I should see them a bit more. But you know, with this as well, it's like, well, they got to stay at home, and my mum was been shielding all last year. She's
Yeah.
been poorly, bless her. So yeah, it's been a mad one, really. It's been a
It
mad
really
one, but
has, really has.
I feel for my other half having to put up with my two younguns
Oh,
homeschooling.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'm a home-ed mum, although mine's a bit older, so it's not so bad. So I completely empathise, completely. But at least are they going back to school now?
well, Daisy's the eldest, so she's back,
Yeah.
and then my youngest, he's back next week, I think it
Oh,
is.
okay.
So yeah, he's teasing her.
I bet.
Extra week off.
Now, talking of Daisy, Daisy is a creative musician like yourself. How is she?
She's been brilliant. Yeah, I've lost half my equipment. It's in her bedroom now.
Oh, bless
Uh,
her.
yeah, she's loving it. Literally, oh crikey, she's been writing like a tree. But again, she was another one. She said, "Oh, I've got a lockdown song as well. Do you think that's a bit weird?" I went, "No, it's brilliant.
Mm,
Keep it flowing. So she's
yeah.
desperate to get stuff out there. But I said, you really must think of your education
Oh,
first.
I know. It's tough, isn't it? It's
But
tough, bless her.
she's doing music for a GCSE, so I was
Oh,
like, well,
wow.
you can use a lot of
Yeah.
your what you do recording wise with that. I got her in the studio when we was back in August when we was sort of let out again, and yeah, I've recorded a lot, shall we say. I've got at least 30 songs to go now.
Wow. So you've definitely got an album in the mix then.
Well, I'm thinking October maybe. Thinking October maybe because I think I might have a Christmas song on there. Hopefully.
Oh, I love that. You're really
Yeah.
going for it.
Well, I just thought, there's not enough decent sort of, well, there is, there's some old school bangers, isn't there, for
Yeah,
Christmas, but
yeah,
there's not been one that really sticks out in the last, I'd say, at least 10 years, really.
totally. Totally. I did a
But
Christmas special actually this Christmas just gone, and I challenged local writers and musicians to either do a cover or write their own Christmas song. And I've got some great stuff in, you know.
oh, wicked. Yeah,
Yeah, so we'll probably
why
do
didn't
the
I see
same
that?
this
I'm
year.
an idiot. I watched it. Oh, I'm so terrible. You know, when you're so fixated on what you're doing, and oh, all right. My vision is I need to get this amount done. I
Yeah.
need to get videos done.
Mm.
I need to make sure that everything's copyrighted and sorted out that way as well. All that boring stuff
Yeah.
that comes with it. That's what a lot of people don't discuss about, isn't it? As musicians,
Yeah.
they don't
The
discuss like the
background stuff.
PR side. Yeah. Oh,
Really
it's
hard.
boring.
People just think, oh, I'm just going to record a song and put it out, and they don't realise actually all the stuff that has to happen in the background to protect your music.
Yeah, and not only that, you know, everything's. I know they say we've got platforms now where we can get things out there quick, and that's true. But you know, you getting a good distributor
Yeah.
is key to the whole thing. Which, I mean, I've sort of do it more myself, but I would like some help in it really a bit more. But you know,
Yeah.
it's you're always looking down different avenues to get your music heard by more and more people all the time, isn't it? And in different areas. And yeah.
Totally. It's all that connecting that you have to do and joining all the dots to get it all out there.
Yeah, it's pretty full time, isn't it?
It really is. And you know what? It's also about catching people's attention. It's about having something that might be a little bit different, that might just kind of like catch someone's eye. And you know, there's so much now out and about. It's hard for you to kind of think of new ways to kind of get your stuff seen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do get approached I mean, people, you know, what do you write about and stuff, and I've always said it's just sort of everyday life and genuinely, you know, everything that sort of comes with it. You know, all your, you know, it's all life experiences, isn't it? Really, that I tend to put into my music. But then, you know, I had a friend. You've met her. I'm not going to say any more because I've got to kind of keep it under wraps.
Yeah, okay.
But
I know who you mean.
The middle of the year, I've written a song for her, and it's about her story, and it's really current at the moment on what it touches on, but more so for us in our country than it is for around the world. So it's good, and I'm so glad I'm actually quite honoured that she let me, you know, write this song for her. But do you know what? I think it's an absolute banger. I think it's the best song I've written.
Really?
I've wrote in a long time. Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that's because it wasn't for you?
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I did. You know, Eyes Wide Open was a big song for me because it was like, you know, I'm ready for the world now, sort of thing. You know, whereas I wear my heart on my sleeve. You know, I'm a bit of an old sentimentalist, a bit, and you know, what you see is what you get with me, unfortunately, or fortunately.
No, that's a good thing. I'd much rather that than someone that you don't know, you know, a little bit fake, you know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Keep it real, innit?
Totally. And then you know that when you do your writing, it's actually from a good place and from an honest place as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So, new song, you've just released Go to the Light.
Yeah.
Well, not long ago, you released that, and obviously I played that on the show. So when's your next song going to come out? What's the plans for the rest of the year?
Well, March the 30th, I'll be releasing Miracle.
Yeah.
And you'll see the trailer to that hopefully next Sunday.
Brilliant.
Always like to put things out on a Sunday because everyone's like that.
Yeah, exactly that. Sitting at home, chilling. Yeah.
Scrolling away on a Sunday. Yeah. Sunday scroll, I call it.
Sunday scroll.
But I've got that at the end of March, sort of at the end of the month. And then I'm just we're just finalising the video on that, just cutting it and editing it, and it's looking really, really good. It's exactly what I wanted to come across in. And my mum's in it as well.
Oh, brilliant! I love that.
And my sister, she was like, "Oh, let me do my hair," and I went, "You got 5 minutes."
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, but that's out on the 30th, and again, I'll probably do a premiere for the on the YouTube channel for that.
Yeah.
And then That's wicked. Last time I had so many people like, oh yeah, well, yeah, we'll be there to have a look at that. So that was cool.
Yeah, it's a really good
Um,
idea.
but then yeah, then I say hopefully sort of, I don't know, any time sort of like June, July, August sort of time. I think we'll be thinking about releasing the other one that we spoke about just
Yeah,
shortly. Can't give too
yeah.
much away.
No, no, don't. I love surprises. I love it.
We'll wait for the build up.
Yay, I can't wait. I can't wait. Have you got any, we talked about at the top of the interview about playing live and gigging again. Have you anything booked in now for later in the year?
Well, I mean, do you know what? I was like, it's Meister's sort of on a hold at the moment, as you well know, the band.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, now's the time to push my solo stuff. And I thought, let's go to the light out and see what people think. And I couldn't believe the response, to be
Yeah.
honest. It was, I don't know whether it was because it was quite that was a sentimental song. I wrote it about my nan when she passed away, but she passed away quite a while ago now. But
Yeah.
it was wrote at that time. Yeah, before I knew it, blooming BBC had hold of it, and I was like,
Yeah,
I didn't even
saw.
know about that. And I was like, how did they get hold of that? Obviously through my page, and then they played that on their show, and I was quite like taken back by that. I thought, wow, I didn't think that was a sort of powerful enough song, but obviously it is. And Doug Welch at BBC Radio Folk was like, that's an incredible production on that song. I loved it. And I was like, it's like keep them coming sort of thing.
Yeah,
I
brilliant.
thought, well, Miracle's completely different to that.
Yeah, but
So,
you know what? I love that though, because if your songs are different, it just shows that you've got different capabilities as a writer.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I love that sort of indie sort of rock genre of, that Kings of Leon sort of stereo phonics sort of vibe, really. That's sort of my kind of style of writing, I suppose. But I like writing sort of more a singer-songwriter, acoustic sort of folky numbers. I've got quite a back catalogue of that. That's loads of that in the tanks.
Yeah, that's really good. So your plan is, do you think, hopefully, fingers crossed, by the time you maybe think about launching the album or EP, you might be able to do like a mini tour or get some gigs ready for it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's all, like I said to you, it's all getting all the wheels are in motion now. It's just hopefully, hopefully the venues will be able to go, yes, we can have you on a more solid basis when obviously the numbers are getting down more and more and more. And I'm still a bit apprehensive, if I'm completely honest, about playing live shows. But I suppose it's only human nature, right?
We're all going to feel like that,
Yeah, but can't sing with a mask on.
No. I had this vision of us all going to a gig, there being big perspex sheets up and all that kind of stuff, and things.
It'd be like in America, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
With the cages on the front, throwing beer bottles at you, but plastic.
Oh no, can you imagine? Oh my goodness. Yeah. It is going to be different, and it's going to be a while before we're shoulder to shoulder like we would be at a gig, and having that whole kind of vibe. It is going to be odd, but it will be nice to kind of get some kind of music out there. I think for you as an acoustic singer, you might be able to find it a little bit easier because you'll be invited to places that are smaller, and monitored crowds maybe. So it might not be so bad for you.
Yeah, I'm well up for that as well. I've been approached by a local venue, and they want to do a stream as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But I've said, well, if we could just hold off for a bit longer. But so that's nice to hear. It's nice to have that support locally,
Totally.
And like I've always had your support and a few other people's support in getting my music out there, and it's so appreciative. I mean, without people like yourself and these sort of local venues behind you, there's no other way of getting out there, really. So it helps build that momentum, So I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. And that's one of the reasons why I love what I do, because I could play a song on my radio show and 5 years down the line, somebody might be a huge star, but we were the people that played and had that faith in you first, and that is a really nice thing. Everyone needs to have their music heard. They all got to start somewhere, and local radio actually over the last year has really elevated because of the pandemic. People have tuned in more, so you've got more ears.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's good to hear
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, really good. So if people wanted to find out a bit more about you, how can they do that, Luke?
Well, I've got my website, which is lukejdorman.com. I've also have my Facebook page, which is Luke J Dorman. So just you've only got to search Luke J Dorman; it'll come up on Facebook. Instagram, I'm down as _Dormeister, obviously because of the band.
Yeah.
But if you type in Luke J Dorman, I still come up. It's
Yeah.
fine. But and then I am on Twitter, but we won't go to Twitter because if there's any Twitter police out there, I'm a bit of a football fan, and I do tend to
No.
moan about football a lot
Oh
on
no.
Twitter, so we'll steer clear of that one.
Avoid that.
Yeah, nice. And I've got my SoundCloud, which is Luke J Dorman, and obviously you
YouTube
can find me on
channel.
iTunes and Spotify.
Yeah.
The usual big
Yeah.
organisations which absolutely rinse our royalties, but we won't go
I
there.
know. I know. I know. Do you know what? That's got to change at some point. I think over lockdown, I think people have realised just how tough it is for musicians and the arts. And I'm hoping.
Well, Bandcamp is the one for us as musicians.
Yeah.
We get the most amount of money back out of, which is incredible. And
Mm.
it's funny because the amount of people that go to me, "Oh, I'll just get it on Spotify," yeah, and I'm like, "No, please don't."
Go to Bandcamp.
Go Bandcamp, because do you know how
Yeah.
much the studio costs to rent out? Do you know how much it is to distribute? Do you know how much it is to do this and that? And they go, "Oh, shut up!" And you're like, "Well, you know."
That's right. It's right. It's where you get your money from.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not.
So,
it's
yeah.
not. It's not a cheap business to be in.
No, you really have to self-fund now.
Yeah.
And there's no. Everyone says, "Oh, you just need a lucky break." It doesn't work like that anymore. That's
No.
another old one.
Yeah. The thing is, there's so many artists now that, like yourself, that also go independent because being taken by a label sometimes can be quite restrictive. So a lot of people choose to go independent, and it can be done, but like you say, it's very hard to kind of get the dynamics right and get it out there.
Yeah, and you hear of all these stories as well. I mean, there was a guy I know locally, and I won't mention any names again, but he signed a deal, and not realizing that in a small print you have to use the record company's studios, their sound engineers, their producers, and they cost thousands of pounds compared to if you went to a studio and you could mix it with someone who knows what they're doing, but with your own ear, and you have complete say over everything. Then it doesn't cost that amount of money, and they've lost contracts. I had one particular friend. He signed a free album deal. They got, I think it was a £700,000 upfront contract, and they all ended up having massive mortgages, if you like, to pay back what they had borrowed from the record company, because I think it cost over £1 million in the end.
That's
and they
crazy.
didn't get anywhere in the charts.
Mental,
because it was in their contract.
Yeah, somebody who might put a video up on YouTube might get spotted and scouted, and then Ed Sheeran, for instance, exactly how he was found. Bieber, that's how they were. That's how they were found originally. But just goes to show that actually being independent to start with can get you to where you want to be. And I think
definitely.
I think musicians as well are a lot more savvy when it comes to things like contracts and that now, and wanting to have that creative license to be able to do things the way they want to. That I think a lot more deals are a bit more like that now.
Yeah, there are. I think they're few and far between, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think that the major companies now are very much holding their cards to their chest, aren't they? So they're not really putting as many good deals out as they could do, I think.
Yeah.
But there's so much talent out there that just doesn't get heard, isn't there? It's incredible.
Oh, I know, and I it's one of my big passions, as you know, is like local, original, unsigned music. It's now, and I get, I was doing my backstage pass, and I was doing 3 hours on a Sunday night, and it was full of it, and I still get sent the most amazing music, and I do play it on my daytime show. We have the most talented people, especially in Kent. We're very, very lucky to have you guys. But the world is full of amazing musicians and amazing bands. And kind of in a way, there's just way too much of it for us to be able to get on the airwaves.
Yeah, it'd just be nice, wouldn't it be nice if there was an influx of Kent musicians that just got absolutely pushed forward? We seem to get outed a little bit. I don't know why. I mean,
No.
there's one group round here that are phenomenal, and they tour all the time,
Yeah.
and they couldn't get onto one of the major radio shows, and they went for it in a different area of the country and got in straight away. And
Yeah.
it just,
It's weird, isn't it? It's really
it's
weird.
really strange how different areas work different to others.
Yeah. Well, there's a top tip then. If you're tuned in, anyone, and take that advice from Luke, go to a different station up in the country and maybe it'll work out.
Well, this happened to my friends, and
Yeah.
they went to Cornwall and did it, and made a bit of a stink there because one of their grandparents lives there, and
Yeah.
that was their address they could use as their upload.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
That was,
I like that. There's so many different ways, but you're right. Do you know what? Maybe it's because we've got so much talent that they're kind of like, oh,
there's so many good artists here.
Oh my God.
Definitely.
Yeah. If I could put on a week-long festival of acts from Kent, I'd be inundated with amazing stuff.
Perhaps you should do it.
You know what? There's an idea. There's an idea.
There's a lot of hard work, that's for sure.
A lot of hard work, but it would be amazing when every band that played was from Kent. Brains going now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it'd be good. Really good. Luke, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And as soon as you've got anything new, let me know, and we'll have another catch up maybe when the album or EP's ready.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be an album, this one. Definitely.
I can't wait. So exciting.
Just working on the layout, that's all. I want it to flow rather than be too slow or too fast. I want it to be a bit,
nice and
up and down.
I like that. Light and shade.
Much like myself.
Aren't we all right now? Take care.
Yep.
Stay safe.
And you. Thank you very much.
And keep in touch.
Will do.
Speak soon. Thanks, Luke.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.